Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Akashic Insights. We're looking at the week of June 13th through the 19th. I'm your host, Jen Duchenne, jendushen.com, Akashic Swan Guidance, and I am using the Illuminating Journey Cards that were created by me with the guidance of the Akashic Records to give us insight into what's happening. So let's see what's happening this week. There is a massive supermoon happening on the 14th of June. So that already is a lot of energy coming into our field, lots of things happening, this opening or expansion into becoming who we are, kind of accepting the terms in a sense. So let's see what the cards have to say. First card is the 12, which I know has shown up, Soul Portal 12, which has shown up not too far ago, maybe the last time, 2 times ago. And this card speaks to the worship, if you will, of what has been in the past, the written word, what we look to in history, and how we have translated what we have assumed as the truth. Somebody wrote something, perhaps they had, or many people wrote things, perhaps they had an agenda in mind, and we have taken the words of others about that interpretation. The truth is, we have to let go of our attachment to that worship, to that rigidity. It's in a sense, when I look here in the cards, flying off, almost like creatures, like birds flying away. It's telling us that that illusion has to fly away. We have to open ourselves to something different. And as the words kind of fly out of the books, the letters disintegrate. And so provide a sense of freedom, but also a sense of needing to create our own foundation, our own structure. The 12 is interesting because we are in a 12 universal month. So we are being invited to find a new playfulness, a new delight at the idea of recreating, reimagining what we have been told, what we have experienced. What will we do in a space where words disintegrate? The idea of what something means is disintegrates, and we have to find the connection that is truth for us. And I love sort of this energy of stillness that happens, the stillness we're invited into, to be in stillness with our observation, with our awareness, before choosing the journey that we are going to go on, because this is a card that invites us to participate, to activate the journey of our own joy, the journey of our own inclusivity, including ourselves in this journey. And then the card 2 that's showing up is a tool, and this is the liquid. And whenever we have tools, it is a way to show us how to do the thing that we don't know how to do. How do we move from this idea of surrendering, letting go, kind of giving up the written word, giving up our absolute faith in and commitment to what has been written in the past, what has been done in the past, and finding this the way forward, the escape route, as it were, escaping from our conditioning. And so I love it that the liquid is showing up. The liquid, this is potion for motion. It is allowing us to liquidize and to not leave everything behind, but kind of liquidize what there is, or the opposite. Like when we know we're going on a journey, we talk about drying things out so we can take them on a journey, like food. Well, we can dry out some of these ideas and take them with us so that we can liquefy them later. So we're not leaving behind everything, but we're certainly needing to leave behind our worship of the everything, of what we've imagined life is. So bringing liquid and thinking about how liquid not only revives what is kind of dead inside of us that wants to be released, but also how it allows us to travel further, knowing we have something dehydrated we can add water to, knowing that when we're parched, thirsty, tired, we think we can't go further, we can drink water, knowing that when we drop into liquid, into water, we can expand, we can allow ourselves to be truly kind of opened up. Like what happens when we add water, this flowing, expanding being, this knowingness that comes forward from us, from our beingness, from allowing ourselves to be connected to something much vaster than the store of knowledge that has been presented to us by other humans. That is like, this is what it means, right? So this is that way forward. And I just love how the coloring here kind of feeds off each other. And by the way, if you hear noise in the background, that's my neighborhood having a party. So this is a big party day. It's been a big party week. And I think it's so immensely connected to the experience we're having right now. It is through a party, through a celebration, through the allowing ourselves to be released from some sort of bondage of being, oh, I need to be so tight and hold myself so still and behave in a certain way, to this feeling of connecting with each other, dancing, connecting, speaking, allowing ourselves to really be touched by humanity, by the awareness that we are human, that we are connected because we all look for similar things. So, it's just also connected. And the third and final card. So this card also has shown up, and I don't know if it was last week or the week before, I don't remember, but it has been a card that has shown up, or maybe it's shown up in readings for clients, but this idea of bringing a different kind of balance, the balance of our nature. What is true is that we have been out of our bodies, we have been in our heads, and we have been in our sense of fear and our thoughts, like how can I make myself better, like all through the mind, when in truth, without the balance of recognizing our natural way of being, our nature, our connection to nature, the listening, again, I'm called to the listening, the stillness of coming into being who we are, no longer waiting for someone else to tell us, okay, this is your card to change, but really going, let me drink from the liquid. Let me embrace the goblet of fire, the goblet of knowledge, the goblet of my awareness, where I'm allowing my imagination, my being to fill up so I can remember my shape, my intuition, my natural kind of animalistic, if you want, vibrant being, my remembrance, what it's like to use my body in a way that helps me understand who I am, where I end, what else is available to me, what pleasure feels like, what it feels like to follow a dream. All of those things that we're being called to right now are in the lushness, in the invitation of this card, the 2, which is, of course, so much about allowing ourselves to step outside of what others give us and to decide what we want and how we are going to live with others with that, like us knowing who we are, others knowing who they are, and finding that those bridges and finding the energy that allows us to connect in such powerful ways. The green, the 2, of course, 2022, our year. This is a key energy to embrace the truth of who we are within the duality, the polarity, finding that energy. So very powerful week ahead, very much about the kind of letting go, kind of like, yes, I appreciate all that has brought me here, and I'm letting go so I can truly travel into my wisdom, using liquid as my vehicle, finding the absolute truth of myself in my own nature and how I connect to the nature around me and the beings around me and life. I'm Jen Deshen, jendeshen.com, Akashic Swan Guidance, and I hope you have an amazing week, because after all, we are the ones that are in charge of how we experience what comes to us.